Hello and welcome everyone to Luminar's Coffee Break. I'm your host, Vanelli, a show where you ask the questions and Skylum supplies the experts to answer the questions. Now, today we're going to talk about something really cool, and that's how to change the mood of your photo by using image overlays. Now, earlier today I had my gosh, a major block. One moment. There, Gary McIntyre. Oh my lord, it's been a long day. Good afternoon, Russell. So Gary McIntyre was on earlier today because of the time zone difference. He's in Scotland. He couldn't be here for this episode. He does some amazing work with these image overlays, and that's what I'm going to show you guys today with it. All right. So let's get started. So here I am with an image of a firefighter. I like it. I just want to make it look a little more creative. All right. So what I'm going to do is start out, of course, just by processing it. Now, one thing we've been noticing, Gary and I talked about this, when you process this image using one of the looks and come back and let's say you tone it down just a bit, remember, if you go to the layers palette, or the layers palette here, you'll notice, we all love him. If you notice, it changed it up here too, which means any of these tools that were used will now be used at only 62%, all right? Now, the bad part about that is if we try to add stuff to it, it's not going to have the full feature to it. All right. So what we're going to do instead is I know, looking at this, that AI is a little too strong, and I want to bring back some of the shadows. Other than that, look at that. I like where this is heading. All right. So I really like where that's heading. Hello, Johnny from Holland. All right, so I have that done. Now comes the fun part. From here, we've already talked about new image adjustment layers. Now we're going to work on a new image layer. So here's a new adjustment layer, and all the adjustment layers are going to do is pretend a stack of playing cards that are see-through. The add new adjustment layer, you can see all the way through. With the image layer, we're going to put an image on top of that card. All right? So we're going to come over. Now I have assets here. And with the assets, I downloaded all the ones Gary gave us. And number 6 is my favorite rain overlay. There it is. Hello, Fisher. All right, now, when it comes in, it's going to take over the entire image. So I'm going to change the layer blend mode to screen. Ooh, look at that. Now it's giving me that look of rain being applied. I want to add another one. So now I'm doubling the effect. And where is it? Here it is. Rain 6. Thank you, Gary. All right, same thing. I want to double the effect. So let's move it down to screen again. And if it's too harsh, which I like it, but we'll come back, we always dial back just that layer. All right? But I like it right about there. That looks good. Now, remember, it's on its own layer. So I can come over here and let's add AI accent and see what that does. Not too much, so I'm going to bring it back. I know the blacks are going to look really good. Nice. Now, we did this earlier. Notice I'm not getting a full effect. That's because we changed the image layer blend mode to stream. If you catch yourself trying to apply effects to an image layer or a new adjustment layer and the layer blend mode is changed, then the new effects are going to come on with that layer blend mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more effect to this, and then we'll create a stamp layer. A stamp layer is going to let us apply all the effects and all the changes onto a whole new layer. So I love how this is looking. However, I want to add one more image layer. This time it's going to be a fog. And once the fog comes in, I can adjust it. Same thing. Here's screen. Here's lighten, screen, overlay. Overlay's not too bad. I like what it's doing to the other stuff, to the background. Here's soft light. No, I'm going to go back with screen, but I will dial it back just a little bit. And now, transformation. Here's where I can take this and bring the fog down just a little bit. Expand it out just a touch. Good. And apply it. Good. And then I can come back to it. I like that. Good. And you know what's neat? Working with Gary earlier, he talked about foreground, midground, and background. And he was saying how he likes to stack different image layers like this, because right now it's looking like we photographed this on a low angle and we got the fog in the foreground all the way through. Now, I'm not quite sure if the fog would appear if it were raining, but you know what? We get to be creative, so for us it is. Now, here's where I'm going to create a new stamp layer. So this stamp layer is a combination of all the layers together. So from here, I can come down, and now if I want to use the AI accent, let's see what that does. That's not bad. I like it. But you know what? I bet you black is really going to do the trick. Yeah, look at that. Black's tying it in. Let's tone down some of the highlights and bump up the contrast. Good. Now here's a little trick I like to do with the curves. Click in the middle and then just slightly bring it down just a little bit. All right, there we have it. So before and after, you know what? I might as well throw on a little vignette. And tone down size just a touch. There it is. Done. Hey, thanks, Gary. All right, so I can envision this. A good friend of mine, Richie Acevedo, is a fire chief. So, and every year for Christmas, he does these amazing calendars of all the firemen, and it's used for motivation, because the firemen all get in top shape around Christmas time so they can be in this calendar. And it's his way of giving back to his squad. I can see this being a really cool addition to that image. And really, we put a fire truck behind them, put the lights on with the fire truck, and just a little background noise going on. Once that's set, then apply this, and you're done within, 3 minutes? So that's a really cool trick that Gary showed us earlier today. Once again, before and after. Guys, do me a favor. Think, how would you use this? How would you use these overlays for like an artistic scene like this if you were doing it either for promotion for the fire department, or if you were doing it for just team morale? Well, give me some tips and ideas you'd use. All right? So I'm going to look through one more image. Let me see if I have time. Oh, good. We have plenty of time. All right, I'm gonna browse through some of my images real quick. Let's see. Now these were scan images. Trips. Oh, you know what? I have a feeling I know which one will be really cool. This one right here. All right, here we go. This already looks like a movie poster. So, or a movie scene. So first thing, let's see. I do want to enhance it a bit. Dial this back a touch. For the color, I want to desaturate and do a little color grading, or remove color cast. Now I only know that this, there we go. I only know that this was removing the color cast because I used this image before. There we go. To remove it. All right, so here we go, before and after. All right, now we have that set. Let's come up here. And hopefully, guys, by the time I got done, I hope you understand now the three different layers that we have. Add new adjustment layer, just takes what we already have down here and makes a new blank layer up on top. The new image layer lets you take a blank layer, put it up on top, but it lets you add an image to it. And then, of course, the last one's create a stamp layer, and that just flattens all the tools you used onto that new layer. All right? All right, so let's do this. See, but he's indoors, so we really can't use snow or bubbles. Splatters won't work. I do like the smoke effect. So let's try a smoke spray. All right, and come down to layer blend modes. Stream, overlay. Ooh, guess what? So this one is not going to work. All right, so that one's not going to work for this image. So we'll scratch that image. And the reason why that didn't work is we were indoors, and if you notice, if we tried to use the overlays on these, it didn't look natural. So instead of wasting our time, I'm going to come over and reset everything. And just pick another image. Let's see. You know what? Let's use her. So, now, Gary did something pretty cool, which I liked. Instead of making the effect look too dramatic, instead of making the effect look too dramatic, let's do a subtle effect. And there's a gradient. We have our rain, fog, smoke, snow, and you know what? I bet you he had those extra ones on his own, so that's fine. Let's just do sun rays. We'll bring sun rays in, and once again, change the layer blend mode, screen, and this will dial back quite a bit. There we go. Just a little, not too much. Here's full. And here it is, dialing it back just a little bit. Got it. Create a stamp layer. And once I have that stamp layer in place, let's see. We got that. Now, I want to come down to Moon Enhancer. And apply that to the entire effect. Good, dial it back just a bit. There it is. So before and after, again, just changing the way the mood of the image looks by using those. All right? Now, excuse me, a question that I asked earlier. Are you slowly starting to build assets like sky replacements, textures, image overlays? If you are, do you have a place that you're actually storing them on in your computer? All right, so that was a question I asked earlier, and I don't see. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. As you were asking about Gary, if you look at our Facebook group, Gary participated earlier this morning. So yeah, Gary came on earlier this morning, and I just realized after I put it up on this one that I had Gary's, I duplicated. So for that, I apologize. What I'll do though is in the chat window below, I'll send a link out to everyone so you can see the exact same episode we did here. He and I did that at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In fact, Alexa, what time is it in Scotland?
In Scotland, it's 10:17 p.m.
Yeah, so
By the way, I am trying to respond from the right place. Was this the device you expected?
Yes, thank you. All right. So, guys, thank you so much. I just realized while you were asking about Gary, and that's because I had his image in the thumbnail. So I apologize. That's my fault. We did it at like 3 o'clock this morning, and then I got a hold of Gary. But I'll put a link in the description below where you can see the same episode with Gary in it. So once again, I apologize for that. All right. So what we were talking about was where would you store those images or those assets? So what I did was this. Let's use a new image layer. Now, under photography, on my C drive, I have a folder called underscore assets. Now, the reason for underscore is so that this way it'll appear as the first folder in my images. Inside here, I have skies, textures, and then free image overlays. So at this point, if I want to start adding assets to my images, I can just quickly go to my photography folder, look under assets, and now everything that I've been saving is going into that location. So I hope that helped you guys a lot. And again, thank you so much for watching this episode. It was part 2 of what we did earlier this morning. And once again, I'll put a link down in the description below where you can find the episode of Gary and I early this morning. Well, I'm Vanelli. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again at the next coffee break.